Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I think I was in 8th grade when I first noticed shrinkflation. I didn't know the name of the concept at the time, but I think I was shopping for my favorite brand of cereal, and it had gone down in size. I'm a math major, so I noticed these numbers. They stick out like a sore thumb to me. When something goes from 14 ounces to 12.6 ounces or whatever, they stick out because I'm a numbers guy. And I was upset, not necessarily at the idea of inflation, but I was thinking to myself, gee, if prices are going up, that's bad, but why would you compound that by then wasting more packaging material, right? If cereal boxes go down from 16 to 12 ounces, now you need more boxes of cereal to get the same amount of cereal. You're just wasting packaging material and, in theory, making the price go up more than it has to, right? On what planet does it make sense? Oh my God, we got a shortage. We got a famine going on. Let's waste more resources, right? On what planet does that make sense? Even as an 8th grader, I understood that was a big problem. Now, fast forward a couple decades later, I am autistic, and I find that I do well controlling my diet. I avoid sugar, MSG, and a few other additives, food colorings. I do a lot better on that. Now, unfortunately, lately, when we have shrinkflation, a lot of times it's not even just the packaging being shrunk. It's also the ingredients being shrunk, right? Instead of using natural seasonings and all that, it gets replaced with sugar and MSG. That's really tragic. I can't tell you how many of my favorite foods I can't eat anymore because of substitution. And it also forces me to be extra vigilant. I have to read the food labels every time, no matter how much I trust the brand. Now, it's, here in Taiwan, my favorite seaweed snack, unfortunately, got discontinued. We used to have this fried seaweed. It was fried in palm oil and seasoned with hot peppers. No MSG, if you could believe that. Got discontinued. And it almost feels like a tragic loss to me. Every time that happens, I almost feel like I need to have a funeral of some sort because I can never have that food again. And one of my funniest, this one's not so tragic, but it's just really funny. I love the French fries at Five Guys. They don't use any additives. Now, have they shrunk it? Kind of, but in a weird way. Let me elaborate. If you go to Five Guys and order a large fry, they fill this cup with French fries, and then they add an extra scoop into your bag. And they still do that today. But unfortunately, lately I've noticed that, I don't know if they're too busy, maybe Five Guys has fired half of its workers, and now each worker is much more busier than before. They tend to spill like most of that scoop onto the floor. More so lately than before. It could also be a sign of the times that these workers are quiet quitting. They don't care about their jobs anymore. A combination of the fact that a bunch have been laid off, the rest have been quiet quitting, possibly. But it's kind of unfair. And not to mention the sticker price has gone up. They maybe haven't shrinkflated, but they have just inflated traditionally. I decided to try something one time. I went to the Five Guys, and I told the guy behind the counter, I'm kind of religious, spiritual, so I would appreciate if they could minimize the waste and be mindful about not spilling the fries on the floor. I'll let you pause the video to think what happened. This is in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix is not a very religious city. We got a lot of atheists there, so I'll invite you to pause the video to think what happened. Well, true to my belief, they didn't spill any fries on the floor, but they didn't scoop a whole lot of fries either. So it's a weird form of inflation where you can order the fries, but they'll end up on the floor, or you could skip that part of the order. You can't make them land in your bag, though, which is really funny, right? I don't know if I should ask for that in the future or not. I guess not wasting is good, and there's an off chance that they might actually scoop that whole scoop into the bag. I think I'll be religious from now on when I go to Five Guys, but leave a comment. If you work at Five Guys, leave a comment if you felt the employee who served me that day was right in doing what he did. But it's kind of tragic. funny at the same. No, not really tragic. It's just that it's just really funny. It's almost like a form of false advertising. Yeah, we give you a scoop, but only for the floor, right? Not for your body, right? Or you could skip that part of the order, right? This is a Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.